Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. Your Excellencies, my teacher, Ma'am Martiwati, and all my lovely friends. Before of all, let's thank to God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has given us some mercies and blessings until we can attend in this meeting. And then don't forget salawat and salam we give to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness into the lightness, from the stupidness into the cleverness. As we know, COVID-19 cases is still ongoing until now. For today, there are 6 million people infected with COVID, 4,000 people in cure, and then 5 million people in health, and 1,056 people die. The effects from COVID-19 is very big, including in education world. Kuntarto 2017 said that online learning is a learning in the internet that can meet between students and teachers for communicating and for interacting. And then for today, there are some schools that still online learning or blended learning. Because of that, I'm here today. I would like to share with you about some things that we need to pay attention to in online learning. For the first is technical problem. It is the big problem for some students in Indonesia, right? Like internet quota has not been fulfilled adequately because the government's promise. Do you still remember? Government's promise that they said they will give some free quota for some students. But until now, the government's promise has not been properly realized. Because of that, some students have the big problem from the internet quota for their study. And then the ownership of mobile phones. As we know, in elementary school, secondary school, maybe some students is still underage. Because of that, they don't have mobile phone set. They must take turn with other people in the house. And then the third is unstable signal. As we know, some places in Indonesia still limited signal. Because of that, the big problem for some places in Indonesia is unstable signal or limited signal. The second is difficulty with distance learning. As many as 77% students feel the biggest problem in distance learning or online learning is the build up of the task, because the teachers just give the assignment to the students without explain about it. And then there are 76% of students don't like online learning. Just 23% students feel happy with online learning. For the third is the possibilities for certain subject. As we know, online learning, just the teacher explaining the screen and the students pay attention in the screen too. Because of that, some subject may be good for it, but some subject too is not good for it. For the example, a subject math practice. For the example, like sports subject, maybe the students just can movement or move in the screen, and then the teachers don't know, is that right? The movements of the students, Is that wrong? For the first is the effects on students. Here I have the positive and negative effects. One of the negative effects is easy to lose focus, of course, because the environment. As we know, environment in home different in class. Maybe environment of home of some students is bad. Because of that, they will easy to lose focus for studying in their home. And then the positive impact. For the first, independent in finding the new information. And then the second is discipline, of course. And the third is calculative, a high sense of responsibility. And Jovita, as a psychologist of child, said that she has a technique. The name of technique is iMessage. iMessage is a technique that emphasizing for ourselves, for to know ourselves. For the example, if we are tired, we need to know we are tired. And then if we are tired, we need to refreshing our brain, refreshing ourselves. Like some activities in home, maybe, or some variant activities in home that can refresh our brain in online learning. I think it's the good technique that Jovita gives to us. And then the fifth is effect on teachers, like limited of time, limited of place, limited of movement, limited of interaction that the teachers must feel in online learning. Because of that, the teachers need to pay attention, need to apply some variant of activities in online learning. Samantha, as a psychologist of child, said that resting and doing some interesting activities can be one of tips that the teachers can do in online learning, become the students don't have bored and frustrated. Okay, those all the things that we need to pay attention through online learning. For the first is technical problem, and then difficulty with distance learning, and then the possibilities of certain subject, the effects on students and the effects on teachers. Okay, that's all my speech. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.